life and all of those things. So I'm just trying to find some balance and like have to cut corners on some things, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
it may be like that for now, but it may not be like that forever.
that's exactly right.
So we just do what we have to do now to keep on keeping on.
Yep. So if you want to join us on the lives, we'll be doing it the first Friday of the month, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got to decide whether this is going to be our first Friday of the month or if we're going to do it next week.
I think we make this our first Friday.
Okay. That works. So we'll be back the first Friday in November. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So, what have y'all been up to?
No.
We haven't,
What y'all been feeling? What y'all been getting?
yeah. Full moon tonight. Full moon tonight. This is really tripping me out, y'all, because I got the iPad set up over here, and it's like the video's on delay, so I look down at it to see if there's any comments, and it's like we're talking like a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah. So if you haven't already noticed, we're flying blind this morning without our Rosalie. So
Yeah.
I'm manning the Facebook comments over here, and she's manning the Instagram. So we're gonna do everything we can not to miss you guys.
Yeah. So, anybody got any questions? Then just hop on there and ask them. But we can get started. That's the dog. We can get started with what we've got, I suppose, right?
Yes, ma'am. There we go. All right. Our first question was from Terri, and she said, shocker, been feeling off lately. Does Spirit have any messages or guidance?
Yeah.
She was talking about that she just hasn't felt as connected.
I feel that, girl. I'm feeling the same way, I think. Yeah. I think this full moon, okay, that's maybe too many? They said no, that's not too many. All right. All right, well, that makes sense. Cleansing came up. Releasing the old, energetic tune-up, new beginnings, and then the water carrier, what really matters. Reflect, reprioritize. I feel like this is happening for a lot of us right now. It's a time to, like, go inward and spend some time. We're going to have to put him on our lap.
I know.
Spend some time reflecting. We could put his little bed here in between us and stick him in it.
Wait, there we go.
Here's the squat, baby.
Baby squatch.
So cleansing, Terri, and like energetic tune-up, new beginnings, releasing the old. What really matters, reflect, reprioritize what you've got going on in your life. And yeah, so we get puppies today on the show. Puppy time. Oh no, you can't get up there. You have to lay down.
So I may have to go put him in his crate. And that will be fun.
There's just not enough room for him to lay out here.
Yeah.
He's trying.
He's trying his best.
He's got his butt on Chandra and is laying his front part on me. All right.
So, yeah, what I'm getting is very, very similar. The first one that I got was Immaculate Conception, time of positive transformation. And then the other card that I pulled from that same deck was, it just came out with the card that I was pulled to, is the merge. In the depths rests the treasures. So, again, a message of rest. But the one thing I did notice is this is the number 1 card, and this is the 34 card, which adds up to 7. So they're both like really intuitive numbers, very spiritual numbers. And then I also pulled the Soma goddess, and this is about wholeness, integrity, and being centered. Soma is here to remind you that you are a perfect expression of the universal life force and always have been. Wholeness comes when you awaken to the reality that whatever you are on your path, there you are. You are precisely where you belong right now. Of course, all the changes you strive for are in process, and there will always be a soul to do. There will always be soul work to do. Our lives are dynamic. So that's just a message of kind of like just ride this wave. It's just a point in time. It's just a phase of your journey, and just kind of like, okay, I'm not feeling real connected right now, or my energy feels a little off, but just kind of like be neutral about it. observe it, like what comes up when I let myself feel that way, and see if there's anything that maybe there's a reason why that Spirit wants you to feel that way right now.
So this is really interesting. I pulled the Seven of Cups and the Seven of Swords and the Ace of Cups. And the Seven of Swords talks about integrity, honesty, choice. It says, when I am faced with a choice, I choose to act with integrity, so I can trust the choice I make, no matter what the outcome may be. I know I acted honestly. I'm only responsible for doing my best and cannot control other people's perceptions, actions, or reactions. If I see I made a mistake in my choice, I give myself permission to learn and grow and accept myself as a human being. I also get to choose to do the right thing and make amends. Then I pulled the Ace of Cups, which talks about intuition, emotional beginnings, and excitement. And it's talking about letting yourself drop into the flow and follow your deepest intuitions. It presents an opportunity to tap into the flow of life in a new and playful way. So this is talking about new beginnings. And then the grandmother of Moonstone talks about cycles of change and new beginnings as well. Mm-hmm. And then I pulled the Skunk Spirit, but in reverse. And that talks about not everyone will appreciate you.
Same thing.
So it kind of goes back to that Seven of Swords. If you are acting in your highest way, or in the way that you feel is right for you, and working in integrity in those choices and things that you need to make, then you're doing the right thing. Mm-hmm. And then as you make those choices and move forward, then it creates the opportunity for new beginnings and for the change and new cycles to begin.
Yeah. And from the Soul's Journey card, I pulled a card asking if there was, is there an emotion, is there a feeling, is there anything that Terri needs to be aware of right now? And patience. Mm-hmm. I accept that everything happens in divine order. So this is just a period that you're supposed to be going through, and
right about. Yep. Yeah, fun, right?
Yeah.
Hi, Michelle. Michelle joined.
Yes. And Lynn's on Facebook.
Hi, Lynn girl on Facebook.
Hey, Lynn girl.
So anybody got any questions, please ask, because we are short today, but we're happy to answer everybody's questions, since we're only going to be doing this once a month. So
absolutely. So the next question that we had was from Lisa, and she kind of had the same kind of thing, that she hasn't had a lot of time to connect recently, so she was wondering if her guides had any guidance for her in either the work or relationship area, like just general guidance.
I'm going to do some cards for each. For work first, Lisa, using these gorgeous cards you sent me.
Do you love those cards?
Okay, let's see what they got to say about the work. Oh, I gotta get this one. Okay. And then I want to ask about the love relationship and situation. Okay. Oh, spicy.
Oh. We just sit here and to ourselves.
I'm just seeing what the story is trying to tell. It's very interesting. In your the two cards that I pulled around work, they both have lightning on them. So to me, that's like quick change.
Well, and the card I pulled doesn't have lightning, but it has something that looks very much like lightning. So the card I pulled about work is the Goddess of Oneness. Someone you love is thinking fondly of you at the moment. So the way that made me feel when I read that was you're making a difference where you are. Like what you're doing now is planting the seeds for something later, or is making a difference in someone's situation, but you've embraced that connectedness, that oneness, and what you're doing is making a difference right now.
We got Michelle with a question too.
I'm writing it down. You go ahead.
Okay. So in the workplace, I got fulgurite and rose bay willow herb. It's about regeneration, acceleration, change, and shamanic wisdom. And also the awakener, which means to soar, emerge, and strengthen. So to me, if I look at these two cards, it gives me the thought that you're in the power position. And I also feel like there's like this acceleration and change and things changing at lightning speed. And if you look at the awakening card, it's like the rocks are being split open and the water is like frothing and the lightning is happening. So to me, that's like a lot of movement, a lot of action, and it may not all be 100% comfortable. But then if you look, I'm going to put these up here for you to see. If you look at the other card, you have the lightning coming down, but it's also a lot of black too, but very soothing. It feels very soothing to me. So I think that's kind of like a feeling of like, it's going to be okay, but there might be a time of like this drastic change and quick, fast change. And then I also pulled the water oracle, psychic abilities acting on vision, and it's destined. So I think as you get these shakeups from the lightning hitting, that tap into your intuition and see what your next steps are supposed to be.
And that's really funny, because when I pulled a card from the manifestation deck, and just asked like what would Lynn need to know to manifest whatever she wants. What would Lisa? I got Lynn over here. What would Lisa need to know to be able to manifest whatever she wants in either one of these areas? And I got the new moon in Cancer, relax, which is also very dark. Mm-hmm. So it totally relates to exactly what you said as well.
You gonna go on with the relationship?
Go ahead.
Oh, get on. Okay, here's what I pulled for the relationship. Garnet and Lady's Mantle, which is womb healing, sexual power, and sovereignty.
Girl.
So that feels real good. And then I pulled the Dancer, shift, dance, and rapture and embody. So I think that's just like getting into your body and like feeling what it is that you need and want. And then the Well Maidens, which is about kindness, respect, reverence, and compassion. And I feel like that's what you want to bring into creating any type of relationship situation, to bring that kind of energy into the relationship, because that's what you want to have in a relationship, right? Kindness, respect, reverence, compassion for each other. So I feel like going through a time of healing and empowerment. I mean, this dancer looks really powerful to me. And just, get clear on what it is that you want to have in the relationship. Respect, kindness, reverence, compassion. Oh, the little one's laying here. She's got her head on my sacral chakra.
Aw. Just give me a little healing.
She give me a little healing.
He's
so sweet. Yes.
And I definitely got the energy message as well with the dancer, because I got re-energize your life, get clear, have positive space and harmony. And this one just slipped out with the other one, and it was have courage, strength, fearless, warrior. And I think that's about like what you said, like doing the work and getting to the point where kind of getting yourself right, getting yourself in harmony, getting yourself in a positive space, and then like going into it with it makes me feel like knowing worth. Like as you start to try to be open to a relationship, this fearlessness in the warrior. I don't think that means like go out and find a man and club him and drag him back to the cave. I think it is more like letting go of the old stories and being fearless about the new chapter. So that's definitely a lot of stuff about being in your body, re-energize your life. But yeah, it's out there. Be fearless. Go claim it. Go claim it's yours.
Hi, Ocean Happy. If you got any questions today, girl, you better ask them. We won't be back for a month.
I know.
Oh,
Okay, so
she does have. Something happened last night, and I wanted to know what if the shadow had a message or just passing by. Oh, did you see a shadow last night, girl? Interesting. All right. Put this in here because little Swatch baby likes to chew on my bone necklace.
okay, so the next question we had was Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
She, in true fashion, asked, "Are my guides taking a breather when it comes to finding a new job on the work front?"
All right. Which one do I want? Like all these cards, put them twice.
Yeah. I feel like we've got the divine timing message so much today that that's probably the theme in a lot of these.
Oh, divine
I
timing.
know. Such a drag.
I want it all, and I want it now.
Like I want action.
Oh,
Oh, he's just gonna put his little head on that.
yeah. Gonna share us. All right, what's going on? Oh. All right, so the cards that I pulled for you, Michelle, are the ribbons card for the first one. And the ribbons talks about how we weave this web of ribbons with other people and how we create connection. So I think there might be some message in there about like connections and maybe pulling on some of those ribbon strings to find the next thing. But I also feel like you're kind of in this holding pattern right now, and you're supposed to try to enjoy it. Because then I pulled the cow. May the embrace of all that is nurturing you awaken in all that you are becoming. So I feel like this is kind of a time to spend some time going inward and really focus on nurturing yourself, because the next card was indulgence. And so, that says to me, like, indulgence and self-care right now as much as you can, and in like nurturing who you are becoming. And the indulgence card says you are worth every desire, every dream. Demand what is yours. Demand what you need. So there. So maybe it's like getting clear on that. That's part of the journey too. It's like getting clear on what it is that you want.
Well, that's exactly what both of my cards say. I got the why card in reverse, as well as the observer card in reverse. And the protection message, which when these are reversed, it's a protection message. Sometimes subconsciously, denying the truth may drive you toward a specific outcome that actually aligns with an intention hidden from your awareness. For example, you may want to be prominent in your profession, but your desire is not really about sharing your talent, but about making yourself feel better because fame would cause people to admire and approve of you. So that tells me, like, it's not just like, I want a job, any job, give me a job. It's going to be a manifestation process. You're going to have to get very clear down to minutia of what you want and why. What you want and why. And then the observer card, also in reverse. Ever think sometimes your life options are suction cuffed to your face and you can't see beyond yourself? There's a big world out there, a multitude of potential realities that you're unable to perceive at the present, so you're a little stuck. It's time to get advice from someone you trust, someone who has a better perspective on your circumstances. Other points of view are needed now before you move forward. So again, it makes me feel like, not just a job, any job. It's knowing yourself better so that the next thing that you find is a good match, really aligns to your energy, really something that's going to make you happy.
And it feels like that talks about that ribbons card too, like, pulling on those ribbons of those connections or those people that you trust and like talking it out with them. Sometimes, that usually helps me. And then I pulled Azurite and Orchid, which is the Lyran Stargate.
That's beautiful.
Personal power, healing entanglements, and throat opening. So I think it also goes back to like, knowing what you want and why you want it. claiming your personal power. She said, ha to the suction cup. And it's her birthday on Tuesday. She's taking the day off and getting a pedicure.
Good for you, girl.
I was thinking you needed to pull a card.
So, for she got the Lyran portal, I asked the Lyran deck if it had a message for you, and it got arrival. It says alignment, all is well, healing. So exactly what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
And also what these cards were saying is get yourself and your wants and your desires and your energy into alignment with what you want, not just the next thing that comes along. Yeah. And it also is number 27, which is 9, which is the number of completion. Mm-hmm. It's like endings, new beginnings. So it's making me feel like once you get in alignment and really, really clear on and know what you want, then that's when it comes. That's when it arrives. And that's a beautiful card.
Mm-hmm.
I love that card. I love the energy of that card.
So I started Ocean Happy. What's her name, Nicole?
I don't know.
Ocean Happy? You worked on Nicole.
That's what it was, wasn't it?
Ocean Happy?
Oh, okay.
Lord, we all losing our mind up in here today. But I was tuning into that shadow figure that you saw last night, and I felt like they were there for someone else. So who else do you have living in your household? The energy felt like a male presence to me. Older human being, person that's passing on the other side. It was almost like he was passing through your space to get to where he wanted to go. And so it was, but it was somebody, it feels like it's somebody in the household or somebody in the household. So I don't know who else you got in the household. Do you got any kids in the house? Because it feels like they were there for a younger person.
And I pulled cards from the ancestor.
What is Nicole? Girl, you psychic. Did you know Ocean Happy was Nicole? No. Lord, she's psychic, yeah.
When I looked, I saw the name Nicole.
Did you really?
Yes.
I don't know if there anymore, was it?
I don't know.
Y'all were having a moment. My boyfriend, both his parents died. Okay. That makes sense. I felt like he was there for somebody else, and it felt like father, grandfather type energy. So I would say he was getting a visitation last night.
And I pulled some cards from the ancestor deck just to ask if since you were kind of feeling that male energy,
Mm-hmm.
if there was anything that your ancestors wanted you to know about that experience. And the first card that came out was Go with the Flow, which is exactly what you said. Let go, rest, manifest. It was just there passing through. Just kind of like be glad that you saw it, cool experience, but it was just moving on to do its purpose. And then I also again got notice the signs, investigate symbols, nature spirits. So just like what you're doing, ask the question,
Mm-hmm.
try to figure out what if there's a message in it, investigate, see the signs. So I guess that was confirmation that you're doing the right thing to get some kind of feeling or get a read on what that was for and why.
Yeah, and I'm getting images of things. I saw the color red, and I saw a cup, almost like a kid's cup, and
A sippy cup?
yeah, like a sippy cup, and a car. So I don't know why they were throwing those symbols at me, and if they have any relevance at all. It's hard to kind of tap in and go that deep when I told you in something like this, but they're saying the car is important, so I don't know what that means, but the car is important.
Okay.
So, I don't know, girl. That's just what's coming in.
Take what resonates and leave the rest.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to say hello to Donna Allen on Facebook. She says, "I'm so glad to see you guys. We're so glad to see you here. If you got a question, put it in the comments because that was the last one that we have so far. So if anybody's got anything else that you want us to pull cards on or tap into, then let us know. I feel
I'm still stuck with Nicole over here with this car situation. It's like that. They're not letting that.
Not letting it go.
They're not letting that car thing go, whatever the car symbol is. Oh, she said she was outside thinking about moon water and crystal for the full moon. Girl, I was thinking about doing that for tonight too.
Mm-hmm.
And the shadow came by, and our boyfriend had mom and dad's cars.
Mm-hmm.
And then I pulled this as I'm reading that is yes.
Yes.
So they're giving the confirmation that that's what the cars were about. Oh, so he was getting a little visitation by his daddy last night. That's really sweet. Didn't feel like there was really any kind of intention around it. It's just like he was coming in to check on things and
Just kind of
and
like a
visit.
drive-by.
Yeah, just visit. And I'm hearing now. I'll finish this. He's still in my ear, talking about pride, and I feel like he's proud of his son, and he's wanting to say that. And I don't know. It feels like that's almost something he wouldn't have said in life, and so now he's like. That's the message he wants to get across to him, to tell him that he's proud of them. So that, yeah.
That's wonderful. So since we didn't have any other questions, I just pulled a card from the Lyran deck for the collective, for the people who are live with us now watching this. What does Spirit want us to know about the energy of the full moon tonight?
Okay.
And I got resources, observation, abundance, prosperity, and gifts. So, all good stuff. It's going to illuminate all the. If we allow it, it will illuminate all the good stuff in our life, all the areas where we have abundance and prosperity. And also, this is the number 14, so it's the number 5, which is the number of change. So, and we manifest out of joy and gratitude. So. Love it.
Aww. Okay, so I also pulled a card for the full moon, and I pulled stagnant waters, feeling stuck, a call for shifts, flow, and change, which has also been kind of the theme of just kind of being in the flow and waiting for things to happen. And change is coming, but we might be feeling stuck. And maybe this full moon is going to be like a whoosh, kind of help push us over that tipping point, so we can start moving ahead. Because I think we all are ready to move ahead a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do too. So,
you have any questions over there?
Yes, we got Donna and Kathy.
All right.
So Donna's just a general reading. Any messages at all? I'm open to whatever my guides have to say.
Okay. All right, so let's see. Donna. Oh.
Actually, it goes with the oracle cards again.
Here.
Oh, of course it is.
So I pulled the Five of Cups in reverse. And the Five of Cups is usually about like the cups are all knocked over and you think that you have nothing, but you actually do. And in the reverse, so I'm not that familiar with the tarot deck. It says, is it possible that acceptance is key to hopeful expansion? So I think maybe the message that's coming through is just accept where you are, accept things as they are, and maybe that's the key to moving on to the next step. And then I pulled the Temperance card, which to me reminds me of balance. But I want to see what it says in here. Yeah, it's about balance, moderation, and divine timing. There we go with the divine timing again. So, maybe this is about accepting things the way they are now, but everything works out in divine timing. And then the Three of Pentacles in reverse. It shows these ants pushing these, it's kind of the opposite, that if it's in the upright, they're pushing the pinnacles up the hill. So this is about collaboration. And it asks you, is it possible I can expand beyond my current reality? So it's interesting that it was talking about accepting things as they are. finding that balance in divine timing, and also being able to see beyond where you are now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's accepting where you are now, but also thinking about how you want things to be, and finding some balance in accepting and creating, like accepting and then maybe self-defeating things with thinking too far down the road, and you think about all these things that need to be done in order to get to where you want to be. I think it's about finding the balance in between those two things.
Yeah, because what I'm hearing is that being content now does not negate anything that you're trying to manifest in the future.
Right.
Like just because you're content where you are now doesn't mean that you can't have ambitions and grow and move forward.
Yeah.
So the first card that I pulled was Angel of Clearing. Your time of waiting and confusion will soon be over.
Nice.
And that made me feel like the like the light of the new moon, the full moon, will kind of bring some things to clarity for you. And you can call on the Angel of Clearing too to help you remove all anything that you are ready to let go of. And of course, I got the Soma Goddess again, because I always, somehow, I have to pull the same card twice. But this says, our lives are dynamic. I feel like the first half of what's in the book was for the first time I pulled it, and the second half, that's why I felt like I needed to stop reading. Our lives are dynamic, but at every point on your path of growth, you are whole, just as you are. When you fully realize that the feeling of wholeness is a birthright from cradle to grave, true peace is yours. So again, talking about contentment of where you are.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
That's great
Beautiful
messages. Hope that is beneficial, Donna, and you get what that meant.
I hope some of that resonates somewhere. Thank goodness for that. I needed that. Oh,
nice.
Wonderful. Okay, and
Kathy
says, just a general reading.
Okay.
11:33.
Oh. You've been seeing numbers a lot the last couple days. 11:11 and 222 yesterday, and then
when you sent that, she sent like a text message or voice memo, and was talking about all the numbers that you were seeing, and the numbers were really prevalent. And that's I had been for weeks up to that, just like everywhere, triple numbers. But this week, radio silence.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay. But that day, I had already seen 111. And you were listening to a podcast, and when she said something about numbers, it was 111.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I felt like that was like my validation from Spirit, that they're still around. But then 222, 333, 444, 555, and then it was 644, because fours are.
Lynn was getting 644 too. Did she tell you that? Oh Lord, that was the other day we were texting about it. Lynn, you still on?
Yeah,
you
Lynn.
busy working?
Girl, that's
Because she was talking about the 644 too, because it happened when she got in the car a couple of days ago. I wonder if it was on the same day. I'll look at my phone later.
Might have been.
That's crazy. Anybody else been having like numbers been really prevalent? 'Cause I feel like we're seeing them for a reason. All right. So let's see what we got here for Kathy. Let me use my tarot cards again. Ooh. Big jobs. We got 2 majors already. This one right here. Okay, I feel like you got a lot going on, girl. I pulled the death card in reverse, and I know the death is about like things dying, not necessarily people, obviously. Transition, release, and acceptance. But it was in reverse. Okay. So I asked myself, is there a possibility that my resistance is keeping my energy stuck? Because the next card I pulled was the Magician. So the Magician is all about, she's been seeing 444 this week too, Ocean and Nicole. And Sabrina says 10s and 12s everywhere. The Magician is about creating the life that you want. So, is there some sort of resistance to change and creating what you want? And where does that come from? Is that some sort of old belief, or is it some old programming of, you can only do this, or you can only do this, or it feels like there's some stuck energy, but like it's waiting for you, this, what you want to create. And then I pulled the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Is it possible that self-doubt leads to dissatisfaction? So that goes back to what I was saying. Like, is there some old belief or something that needs to be released so that you can create this magician energy of creating what you want? And yeah, I think there's some, we'll pull you another card, but there's some message in like clearing out some of the old stuff, that old belief systems is what I keep getting, belief systems.
I got a similar message, but from a different
Perspective.
angle.
Okay.
I pulled nature spirits, elves, fairies, and rock formations.
That's such a pretty card.
It is such a pretty card. And when the energy of, you know, nature spirits and elementals in general is one of, you know, slowing down, getting out in nature, the kind of getting back to basics, which is the second card that I pulled, and just kind of like, we tend to be able to be more present in this moment when we're in nature than when we're somewhere else. And the card actually reads, respect the wilderness as home for being seen and unseen. The card may suggest someone doesn't want to be disturbed. Respect their space and let them come to you. I felt like someone not wanting to be disturbed was, there's something that you know you need to face. Limiting belief could be that you're not, I don't want to say not wanting to, you're wanting to. But it's like, what the feeling that I'm getting is like, what will cascade down if I disturb that one thing? You know, it's not like, because I know that one thing is going to lead to something else, and that's why you're avoiding the thing.
It does, girl.
Yeah, and it does.
Can I say something about this card?
You're right about that. Yeah, go ahead.
So whenever I see this card, Kathy, I see like all of the other members of the family or tribe are up here, and this person is back here alone, kind of like, I feel like you need to leave the group mindset or the way it's always been done, and you kind of need to go off on your own and do things your own way. That's what I see in that card.
Yeah. And it does talk about, again, slowing down. You don't need to be racing and trying to catch up, trying to keep up with everyone else. This card is a reminder to appreciate the simple things. Remember what is important to you. It may be time to declutter your home, your routine, your life, or your headspace. So yeah, again, it's be true to yourself, be authentic, do what you know in your being is the right thing to do versus like what people in your peer group may be doing, or people that are telling you this is what you should do. You know, you know what's right for Kathy, and that's where you need to be headed.
So I pulled this crystal grid card that talks about focus and creating with intent. But whenever I looked at these cards, which I think it is about creating with intent, what it is that you want, I saw this bright pink color, and I was focused on that. And whenever I looked up at Chandra, I saw a ring of pink around the side of your face.
Oh.
So I want you to do a little Google search, Google the like fuchsia pink or dark pink aura colors, and see what the meaning of it is, because I feel like there's some meaning in that for you. Yeah, and the focus and creating with intent, like if you wanted to create a crystal grid of what you want your intentions to be, I think that would be a really cool thing to do too with the full moon tonight. This is like a, ceremony kind of thing.
She's saying that she feels alone.
Oh.
Well, but
I think a lot of us feel that way.
And I'm sorry that you feel that way, but you know that you're not.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all connected, so at any point in time, your energy is connected to our energy. We're always with you. So you're not alone. You're part of all that is.
Yeah. But I know how it feels to feel like that. It feels really crappy to feel like you're alone in your journey.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And it's very scary because there's a lot of things, a lot of stuff coming up that is difficult to deal with when you have support.
Mm-hmm.
So when you feel like you don't have support and trying to deal with those things, I'm sure it's completely overwhelming. I know it is. Overwhelming and probably a little scary too, because there's, there's when the shadows come up, it's not, it's difficult to navigate, and I understand that.
The Heart of Cups in reverse, and this card is about emotional wounding, and it's spending time nurturing your inner child. And with it in reverse, it talks about how you need to practice really good self-care, placing boundaries where you need to, and don't blame yourself for everything. It feels like there's a lot of self-loathing is the words that are coming to my mind. So kind of putting those things aside, and you have everything that you need. You just got to get to that point. You got to keep moving forward and do the work.
I was going to pull a card from the Angels, Gods, and Goddesses deck, and I was asking who is a god, goddess, angel that Kathy can work with during this time that she could call upon. And every time I was shuffling and I would see a card, it would be 2 cards. But I would go to try to, okay, 2, that's great. There's 2 angels that want to work with her. And I'd go to pull them out, and they wouldn't come out. They were stuck. Then I would do the same thing. And again, it would be 2 cards, and I'd go to pull them. They would be stuck. So I feel like there's a plethora of angels, goddesses, gods that you can call on when you're feeling that way the most. Just calling them and ask for help. The card that finally came out was Angel of Abundance. A steady flow of abundance is about to manifest, and I'm getting the feeling that it's not. I don't think it's necessarily financial. It could be, but I feel like it's more of like how we consider higher vibrational emotions abundance. Like we consider depression, despair, anger as lack, and we gratitude and love and those type of emotions as abundance. So I'm feeling like this is like emotional abundance, that the support is coming, it's about to manifest.
And again, with that bright pink fuchsia color. So maybe you need to look that up as well and see if there's something in there for you. Joanna the Healer.
Hi, Joanna.
Hi, Joanna. Y'all, if you haven't seen the podcast that we did last week with her, you got to go watch it because it was so good.
It was. Just you mentioning it gives me chill bumps.
Yeah.
I bet I've listened to it 10 times.
Yeah.
It's so amazing.
I was smiling ear to ear when I finished. I was like, so good.
And it's like
you hear everything again, and it's like you pull out some more stuff out of it.
It's like every time I listen to it, it's like, I don't remember when she said that. And it's like, yeah, every time you listen to it, you hear something new. It's great.
Yeah, it was amazing. All right, you guys. Well, I think, I hope everybody has a wonderful full moon.
Oh, Donna actually even said, thank you. This kind of ties in with what Joanna the Healer, on Joanna the Healer's What is God podcast. You're absolutely right. That was one of my favorite episodes as well. That one was powerful.
Yeah, I listened to that one too. It was like the little emoji. That was what my brain was doing.
Yeah. But in a good way.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys.
All right. Well, we will be back.
You're welcome, Kathy.
First Friday of the month, since we're not going to be doing this every week. But we love you guys, and if you have questions that come up during the month, just feel free to slip them into our DMs.
Go ahead and send them to us. We'll keep a running list, and we'll make sure that the next time that we're together, that we get to it.
Yep.
So
have a lovely full moon, y'all. Go put out some moon water and charge your crystals and stuff.
Do all your witchy shit.
All right, guys. We love you, and we'll see you next time.
Yes, we will.
Peace out, y'all.